Backstory: Jack and Sam's Odyssey by Arthur Chubone unfolds in a mystical void where tales are birthed and characters shaped. This chapter introduces Jack, the protagonist, and Sam, the antagonist. Initially, Jack perceives himself as a human with short brown hair, warm chocolate eyes, tall and lean stature, hinting at a life of hardship. However, a revelation through the quill of ether ink transforms him into an anthropomorphic canine, or canoid, named Jack Taleweaver. His new form includes semi-erect dog ears, bronze-colored eyes, a square snout, subtly bulging muscles, hand-like paws with paw beans, a slightly protruding belly, dog-like legs, and a medium-thick tail. His transformation is dramatic and unsettling for him, involving a change from his previous human-like appearance to a fully canine form, complete with fur, a snout, pawed hands, and a tail. Sam, introduced initially as a formless entity, chooses to be a dragon. His transformation is equally dramatic. He evolves from a blob of dough into a magnificent dragon with a pair of leathery wings, strong muscular limbs ending in clawed feet, a sleek snout adorned with sharp horns, fiery eyes, metallic sheen skin, and a powerful, spiked tail. He also has a distinct male form with a prominent bulge and a cloaca, emphasizing his masculinity and complex dragon anatomy. The chapter sets up the dynamic between Jack and Sam, exploring their contrasting roles, personalities, and the challenges they face in the void. The void itself is a canvas for their development, filled with whispers of untold stories and side characters. The chapter also introduces secondary characters like Claude, a comedic bull with a penchant for interjecting moves, and Petey, the avatar of the plot, who guides the narrative with dramatic flair. The narrator's voice shapes the events, and there's a discussion on plot points, character development, and the themes of adventure, exploration, and moral conflict. The chapter ends with the introduction of Jerry, the narrator's avatar, designed to be a guide, confidant, and friend to the protagonist. Jerry is envisioned as a wise, witty, and light-hearted Welsh Corgi Canoid, offering both guidance and comic relief. The chapter concludes with Jerry casting a spell, symbolizing the character's entrapment within the story's narrative and setting the stage for their epic journey in the mystical land of Potera. Prologue: The Dowie Dreamer. In the heart of the North Pole, amidst the fragrant scent of pine needles and gingerbread, the bustling workshop of Santa Claus thrived. Here, nestled in this haven of Christmas joy, was a peculiar inhabitant vastly different from the industrious elves crafting toys at lightning speed. Ezekiel Gingersnap, towering and proud, his doughy body a testament to years of dedicated baking, stood as more than just a chef. He was a culinary artist. His creations, from intricate gingerbread houses to delicate reindeer-shaped cookies, were masterpieces of sugar and spice. Yet, despite his undeniable skills, a shadow of resentment lurked within Ezekiel's heart. He craved not just praise for his treats, but respect and recognition, feelings that had fermented into a bitter brew within his doughy depths. Overlooked and feeling invisible, Ezekiel longed for something more, something beyond his sugar-coated domain. On a snowy December evening, as the workshop buzzed with Christmas Eve preparations, Ezekiel, standing alone, concocted a daring plan. His target? The starlight sparkle, the radiant star atop the grand Christmas tree, powers Santa's sleigh and symbolizes the Christmas spirit. Under the cloak of darkness, Ezekiel set his plan into motion. With the forbidden Yule yanker, he snatched the starlight sparkle, setting the workshop into a frenzy of chaos and uncertainty. As Santa and the head elf confronted the grim reality of the missing ornament, the decision was made to use the stalking crystal ball in a desperate attempt to recover the lost treasure. The next morning, as the sun rose, a new day brought the thrill of adventure for Ezekiel. "Today's the day," he whispered in the empty bakery, mischief sparkling in his molasses-brown eyes. With the priceless starlight sparkle now in his possession, he was determined to be the star of the show, no longer the forgotten chef, but the center of attention. Yet, little did Ezekiel know that his actions would set in motion a series of events far beyond his wildest imaginings. His desire for recognition would intertwine with the mysterious machinations of the Frost Weaver, a forgotten soul lurking in the shadows of the North Pole, aiming to turn the land into a realm of eternal winter. And so, under the Arctic's shimmering sky, a dowry revolution began, marking the start of an adventure filled with magic, challenges, and the eternal spirit of Christmas. This was the beginning of Dragon Sparks and Yuletide Barks, a tale where the greatest adventures begin not with a roar, but with a whisper in the winter wind and a dowie dreamer's yearning heart. In the heart of the North Pole, the workshop and its surrounding territory were abuzz with the hustle and bustle of last-minute Christmas preparations. Santa, his head elf, and a team of skilled artisans toiled away, ensuring that the presents were perfect and the sleigh was ready to take off. But amidst the cheerful atmosphere, a shadow loomed, a sinister force lurking in the corners of the workshop, unseen yet ever present. And it was from this sinister entity that a dowie dreamer would find his greatest challenge. Ezekiel Gingersnap was the star baker at the workshop, his delectable desserts the highlight of every celebration. But, despite his undeniable skill, the big-boned chef was plagued by feelings of resentment and jealousy. He yearned for more than just the adoration of his colleagues. He craved recognition and respect, something that seemed out of his reach. Ezekiel was a dowie dreamer, his desire to stand out and be seen as more than just a chef festering within his dowie depths. One winter's evening, under the cloak of darkness, Ezekiel set his plan in motion, snatching the coveted starlight sparkle. The prized ornament, shining like a beacon, represented the Christmas spirit, and its absence plunged the workshop into chaos. Santa and the head elf, desperate to retrieve the lost treasure, utilized the stalking crystal ball, a mystical device capable of revealing the location of missing items. This action led them straight to Ezekiel, exposing the big-boned baker as the culprit. Faced with his crimes, Ezekiel fled the workshop, determined to be the star of his own story, no longer a mere supporting character in someone else's narrative. Yet, little did he know that his actions would set in motion a sequence of events that would change the fate of the entire North Pole. His selfish desires would intertwine with the mysterious machinations of a dark force lurking in the shadows, a mysterious entity with sinister plans for the Christmas-loving people of the North Pole. Ezekiel's journey, from the humble pastries of the workshop to the mysterious secrets of the Arctic, was about to begin. A dowie dreamer, his quest was now a matter of destiny. The starlight sparkle was about to find a new home, a new star to shine its light upon. This was the beginning of an adventure filled with magic, mystery, and a Christmas miracle. Chapter 1: An Unexpected Turn to Christmas Land. A captivating tapestry of vibrant reds, greens, and golds unfolded before Jack and Sam as they stepped into Christmas Land. This fantastical realm, a stark contrast to the rugged landscapes and mystical biomes of Patera, pulsated with the joyful sounds of Christmas carols and the intoxicating scents of cinnamon and pine. Gingerbread houses adorned with twinkling lights lined the snow-covered streets, and the aroma of mulled cider warmed the crisp air. Jack, his eyes wide with wonder, gazed around in astonishment. "Sam," he exclaimed, his voice echoing with confusion and a hint of awe, "where are we? This isn't Patera." Sam, Rusty Claus the Red Terror, inhaled deeply, savoring the sweet scents of gingerbread and spiced cider. "Not quite, my friend," he observed, his dragon eyes gleaming with curiosity. "It appears we've landed in a Christmas wonderland." At that moment, Jerry, the ever-dapper Welsh Corgi Canoid, materialized before them. Sporting a crisp suit, complete with a festive bow tie, fedora, and monocle, Jerry exuded a blend of apology and excitement. "Welcome to Christmas Land, gentlemen," he declared, his voice tinged with amusement. "I understand this wasn't your intended destination, but our story has taken a delightful detour." "A detour?" Jack asked, his ears perking up. "Yes," Jerry continued, "the author had to shift focus to a Christmas story, putting Dragonfire and Canine Dreams on hold. You're now part of Dragon Sparks and Yuletide Barks." Sam's dragon eyes showed a hint of disappointment. "So, our journey in Patera is paused for now," Jerry interjected gently. "But consider this an exciting side adventure. Christmas Land is filled with its magic and challenges. And who knows, this detour might connect back to your original story in ways we can't yet imagine." Jack's tail wagged, his spirits lifted by the prospect of a new adventure. "A Christmas adventure? Sounds intriguing. What's our role here?" Ah, that's where Santa comes in, Jerry said with a twinkle in his eye. He'll fill you in on everything. The spirit of Christmas is strong here, and I have a feeling you both will play crucial roles. Sam stretched his wings, a spark of adventure igniting in his eyes. Whether in Patera or Christmas Land, an adventure is an adventure. I'm game. Jerry beamed at their readiness. Wonderful. Your unique abilities will undoubtedly be invaluable here. Jack, your sharp instincts, and Sam, your dragon strength, will surely come in handy. Resolved and ready for the new challenge, Jack and Sam exchanged determined glances. Lead the way to Santa, Jerry. We're ready to find out what this Christmas adventure has in store for us, Jack declared. Together, the trio ventured deeper into the heart of Christmas Land. As they journeyed towards their meeting with Santa Claus, Dragon Sparks and Yuletide barks was set to unfold as a tale rich with holiday magic, unexpected challenges, and the potential for heartwarming discoveries. Their path might have veered from Patera, but their adventure in Christmas Land promised to be a festive and enchanting experience. Jack's eyes twinkled with anticipation as he and Sam followed Jerry, the Welsh Corgi Canoid, through the enchanted forest. The trees were adorned with colorful lights, and the crisp air carried the faint scent of cinnamon and pine. This is incredible, Sam breathed, his wings fluttering with excitement. I know, Jack agreed, his ears perking up at the sound of bells jingling. Santa's close, Jerry announced, his eyes twinkling with excitement. Jack, his brindle-colored canoid form adorned in a red jacket, white shirt, and black pants, followed Jerry, the Welsh Corgi Canoid, through an enchanted forest aglow with Christmas cheer. The trees sparkled with colorful lights, while the air carried the crisp scents of cinnamon and pine. This is incredible, he remarked, his ears perking up at the sound of distant bells. Sam, a red-scaled dragon clad in a blue and green striped sweater, glided gracefully beside them, his usual fiery look replaced by festive attire. Yeah, this is different from my usual look, he admitted, inspecting his sweater. It suits you, though, Jack complimented, admiring Sam's new appearance, reflecting on how they all had seamlessly adapted to the Christmas spirit. Jerry, in his classic Christmas attire, complete with a festive hat and a bag of gifts, led the way with a twinkle in his eyes. We're close to Santa's workshop, he announced. He'll fill you in on what's up. As they navigated the frost-kissed wonderland, voices hushed between breaths so no one could overhear, yet even without words spoken aloud, everyone knew where they stood together. Earlier, as Sam Rusty Claus the Red Terror and Jack Taleweaver had soared over the North Pole Workshop Valley, they marveled at the bustling activity below. The valley rang with the symphony of Yuletide joy, bells jingling, toy soldiers marching, and the air rich with the scent of peppermint. Their awe was short-lived, however, as they spotted the abominable snowplow rapidly approaching, burdened with a heavy load of toys and treats. The creature slipped in a twist of fate, sending its cargo tumbling through the air. Cinders and smoke, we've got to save those gifts, Sam bellowed, diving after the falling packages. Jack, determined and agile, readied himself to assist in the mid-air rescue. Their efforts were successful, but the discovery of a trail of ice shards and powdered sugar leading to Ezekiel's Gingerbread bakery hinted at a deeper plot. The bakery, in disarray and reeking of singed gingerbread, suggested Ezekiel's involvement in something devious. With a sense of urgency, the abominable snowplow set off to alert Santa Claus, leaving Sam and Jack to ponder the implications of their findings. As Jack, Sam, and Jerry continued their enchanting journey through Christmas Land, Jack's thoughts momentarily drifted to their absent companion. Hey, Jerry, Jack inquired with a curious tilt of his head, what about Claude? Where is he during all of this? Jerry adjusted his monocle thoughtfully before responding. Ah, Claude. You see, while we are here in Christmas Land, Claude's path has taken a different turn. He has been sent to Patera, but not in the way you might expect. Sam's dragon ears perked up in interest. What do you mean, Jerry? Jerry's eyes twinkled with a hint of mischief. The author has arranged for Claude to arrive in Patera in the future, specifically timed to coincide with your departure from Christmas Land. It's a bit of narrative synchronicity. Claude will get there at the same time you and Sam leave Christmas Land for Patera. Jack's tail wagged slightly, amused and intrigued by the clever twist. So, Claude's going to be in Patera just as we're leaving Christmas Land? That's quite a timing. Yes, indeed, Jerry affirmed with a nod. It's all part of the grand story. Claude's arrival in Patera will be an event in itself, knowing his penchant for making an entrance. And his journey there will add another layer of adventure and surprise to the overall narrative. Sam chuckled, his deep dragon voice resonating through the crisp air. I can only imagine the chaos Claude will bring to Patera. It's never a dull moment with him around. Jack grinned, his excitement for their current adventure growing. Well, for now, let's focus on Christmas Land and the wonders it holds for us. I'm sure we'll have plenty of stories to share with Claude once we all reunite in Patera. With their path illuminated by festive lights and the air filled with the magic of the holiday season, the trio continued their journey towards Santa Claus, ready to embrace the unique adventure that awaited them in the wondrous realm of Christmas Land. As the three travelers, Jerry, the Welsh Corgi Canoid, Jack, a tall and handsome canoid, and Sam, a red-scaled dragon, journeyed through the winter wonderland, the mysterious entity, known as Ezekiel, lurked within the shadows. Ezekiel's mission, shrouded in the secrecy of his icy lair, was twofold: to create chaos and to spread the frost. His cunning plan was to use the powers of the starlight sparkle, stolen from its perch atop the grand Christmas tree, to freeze the entire land and claim it for his own. In the distance, the faint echo of a jolly laugh rang through the air. Ho ho ho! It was the unmistakable voice of Santa Claus. The travelers hastened their pace, eager to meet the man in red and discover the secret that would bring light to the North Pole. Come on, guys, Jack urged, his voice filled with determination. Ho, we're almost there, Sam replied, his powerful wings carrying him effortlessly through the snow-filled sky. You two are just in time, Jerry said, his voice filled with excitement. The group arrived at a large, decorated house with a chimney and a brightly lit porch. Here we are, Jerry said, his voice filled with excitement. Santa's workshop, Sam observed, his dragon eyes twinkling with awe. And the home of the big guy himself, Jack added, his voice filled with anticipation. Ho ho ho, came the jolly laugh from within. Jerry led the way up the steps, his voice filled with cheer. Let's go see what's in store for us, shall we? As they entered the workshop, the sights, sounds, and smells were overwhelming. The workshop was a chaotic yet joyful place, filled with elves, toys, and a myriad of holiday decorations. Santa, the man in red himself, sat at a desk surrounded by a pile of presents. Welcome, my friends. Santa boomed, his voice filled with cheer. Jack's ears perked up, his excitement evident. Hello, Santa. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sam's wings fluttered as he landed beside Jack. Indeed, a great pleasure. We're here to help in any way we can. Jerry, his demeanor one of excitement and mystery, approached Santa. So, what's the situation here, Santa? He asked, his voice filled with curiosity. Santa's smile faltered, a hint of worry appearing on his face. I'm afraid we have a bit of a situation, Santa said, his voice filled with concern. Jack's tail wagged, his senses alert. What kind of situation? The worst kind, Santa replied, his voice heavy with worry. The starlight sparkle, our most important ornament, is missing. I'm afraid we're in danger of a frozen Christmas, Santa lamented, his voice filled with worry. Sam's eyes widened, his dragon breath forming a small puff of smoke. A frozen Christmas? That sounds terrible. Sam exclaimed, his voice filled with concern. That's right, Santa said, his voice filled with dismay. And you think Ezekiel has something to do with it? Jerry asked, his voice filled with concern. Ho, the evidence suggests as much, Santa said, his voice filled with disappointment. Jack's ears twitched, his detective instincts kicking in. We found Ezekiel's burnt bakery and the starlight sparkle is missing. That's enough to start an investigation. I'm sure Ezekiel is involved somehow, Jerry mused, his voice filled with worry. We'll find the starlight sparkle, don't worry, Santa, Jack declared, his voice filled with determination. Ho, you're the best detectives I know, Santa said, his voice filled with gratitude and hope. Well then, we better get started, Sam said, his voice filled with purpose. Let's begin the search for the starlight sparkle, shall we? Jerry declared, his voice filled with determination. And so, the search for the starlight sparkle began. Jack and Sam, accompanied by Jerry, set out to find the missing ornament, hoping to save Christmas Land from the impending threat of a frozen Christmas. As the group departed Santa's workshop, a sinister presence watched from the shadows. Ezekiel, lurking in his icy lair, observed the activities with a sense of glee. "Those fools have no idea what's coming," he whispered, his voice filled with malice. Ho, 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 Santa's laughter echoed through the snow-covered land. Ho, we're almost there, Jack called out, his voice filled with excitement. Just a bit further, Jerry chimed in, his voice filled with cheer. Sam's dragon wings carried him effortlessly through the frigid air. It's just up ahead, Jerry announced, his voice filled with excitement. As the group approached the workshop, the scent of gingerbread and peppermint wafted through the air. That smells good, Jack said, his tail wagging. Ho, ho, come in, come in. Santa greeted them, his voice filled with cheer. The trio entered the workshop, their senses overwhelmed by the sights, sounds, and scents of Christmas. Wow, this is amazing, Jack said, his voice filled with wonder. Ho, this is indeed a magical place, Sam agreed, his dragon eyes wide with amazement. Ho, welcome to my workshop, Santa said, his voice filled with warmth. This is incredible, Jerry said, his eyes twinkling with delight. Thank you for coming, Santa said, his voice filled with gratitude. Ho, no problem, Santa, Jack said, his tail wagging. Ho, happy to help, Sam added, his dragon voice booming. Now, let's get down to business, Santa said, his voice filled with a sense of purpose. Ho, what's the situation, Santa? Jack asked, his ears perking up. The starlight sparkle, our most important ornament, is missing, Santa said, his voice filled with concern. The starlight sparkle. Ho, how did this happen? Jack asked, his tail wagging furiously. Ho, we don't know, Santa said, his voice filled with anguish. We'll find the starlight sparkle, don't worry, Sam declared, his dragon voice echoing through the workshop. Ho, I hope so, Santa said, his voice filled with trepidation. Let's begin the search, Jerry urged, his voice filled with determination. Jack's tail wagged, his sense of adventure rising. We'll find the starlight sparkle, you have our word, Jack promised, his voice filled with conviction. Ho, I have faith in you, Santa said, his voice filled with confidence. The trio, fueled by their determination and dedication, embarked on their quest to find the missing starlight sparkle.
Gather around, tales adventurers, gather around. I'm your host, and your portal to the Yuletide yarn spun in claws of mistletoe. Chapter 1 just whisk us through frosted landscapes and positively puzzling clues, leaving Jack and Sam our furry sleuths with more questions than snowflakes on a blizzard. The starlight sparkle Christmas land's twinkle-dusted heart has vanished like a gingerbread cookie on Christmas Eve. But fear not, fellow storyhounds, because episode 2 promises to melt your worries faster than an avalanche of hot cocoa. Jack gruffs and determined growls. This case is a tangled knot, tighter than mistletoe vines, but this terrier won't let go of the bone. We'll sniff out that sparkle, Sam, even if it's nestled in Ezekiel's ice palace lair. Sam, his voice rumbling tremor booms. Fear not, my canine comrade. My dragon scales crackle with the scent of adventure. We'll unravel this icy conspiracy, even if it takes a belly full of gingerbread and a chorus of singing snowmen. And then there's Jerry, posh and squeaky, adding, "Of course, gentlemen, festive cheer is our weapon. A sprinkle of Yuletide magic our shield, and our detective trio sharper than Santa's reindeer antlers. This mystery will be unwrapping faster than presents on Christmas morning. Get ready for snowball fights with mischievous elves, a sleigh ride through candy cane forests, and maybe even a showdown with a grumpy yeti guarding a secret passage. But beneath the sugar plums and candy canes, remember the heart of claws and mistletoe beats with the true spirit of Christmas. Friendship, kindness, and the belief that even the frostiest hearts can be warmed by the glow of a single candle. So gather your fluffiest blanket, snuggle up by the screen, and prepare to wag your tails with glee, because episode 2 of Dragon Sparks and Yuletime Barks audiobook series drops later this week. It's going to be a Yuletime yarn spun with more twists and turns than a reindeer on roller skates. And hey, keep an eye out for a hidden clue nestled among the mistletoe. It may just unlock the key to an entire mystery. Until then, Tales adventurers, happy howling and merry watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when the next chapter unfolds. I'm your host, signing off. Now go forth and spread the holiday cheer.